Good morning, all. Today we will discuss about service-oriented architecture, which is in next topic in our Unit 3. So before getting into this service-oriented architecture, why we need to use an architecture which is being represented only the service what we are being offering here. Here, first of all, we are using certain type of applications or any other kind of the things to develop the projects here. And these projects, what you have been using, has to be interact with each other, and also some means pass on the or exchange some kind of informations what you have been means representing there. In this kind of processing, what plays an important role or a major role here is the technology what you are using here. So the technology what you are been representing, what it is been specifying here is we need to establish an environment which is used for developing the systems and also for also means interact with the different types of the applications there. Whenever it is being taking into an account, one system or one kind of the system will follow one technology and other also follow the another one. We need to use some kind of the middleware to make interact with the each other systems here. The first of all, what we need to do here is the middleware implementation, all these things here. Rather than doing this middleware implementation or any kind of the thing, why can't we execute or why can't we develop the system which is what for we are making it came to existence there. Means for what we are designing one. So for what the kind of service it is been providing, what kind of the things it is been taking into an account has to be specified there. So we need to develop a system or we need to develop any kind of the one which is an adaptability one. So what kind of the adaptability environment here being taken into an account is we have the two kinds of applications here, or you may specify application software or other kind of the thing here. What it is like thing, what we need to do here is the things or the applications what we have been represented here will be as a called as a legacy applications when they have been means existing for the past decades there, and from the past decades or from you can take account as a from day-to-day life or another kind of the things here. What it is doing here is we are been taking the technology is developing, whether the applications what you have been representing here is whether it is been taking means the application what you have been representing here is adapting the new environment or not. So the legacy applications what are there has to be adapt the environment what you have been providing here. And the other kind of the one here is whether we have been providing this means service oriented architecture, what kind of the properties it is been supporting. Means it must have some properties or some kind of the environment to support this software object or this service oriented architecture. Here we have the four kinds of one. That is the first one is the logical view. In this logical view, what we represent here is the abstract form of these actual programs or any databases or any business oriented one will be represented. And in this environment, that is a logical view environment, what we will do here is we will exchange the information between multiple people here. What we have been specified them here is the who is been providing the service. They are being called as these provider agents, and who the persons who have been requesting for that service will be specified as the requester agents here. So the logical view, what it will do here is it will take this service which is messages will be exchanged here. While exchanging this messages here, means we have the what kind of the environment we are in, how we are going to implement this one will be covered by this message orientation. So what is the message orientation here is we need to take what the service B has been requested by the requester. What is the service it is been taking? So what is a service means what it has been requested and what he wants to know. Means other than any information, the person what you have been represented, whoever it is, what they have been doing is what the exact information or what exact kind of the service he is been requesting for has to be specified there. That is a message orientation. While doing this one, what they have to do is nothing but the agent, means the provider agent has to take the exact information from the requester agent, and then next what it has to do is it has to give the information to the requester agent in the form of definitions or some pictures or kind of the some files or any, means whatever the kind of the information they are being asking, they have to represent there. So by that they means we need to know what kind, means what they have been searching for. He's searching for, or he or she are searching for the image or any kind of the other information we need to know. So when you are taking into an account this kind of the service, you need to provide the uh, data about data representation there. So it deals with the description orientation. So the first logical view is to connect with the system and to ask what kind of information I am requesting. For example, you need to know about this cloud. The what is a cloud? So what you are asking for? You are asking for the definition. So what kind of the service it has to provide here is it has to provide the definition one. So for example, you need to ask about what are the cloud services and representations, any kind of the connections or any type of the things what you have been representing, you have been requested there. So what it is doing? So you are asking for the image. So what it has to display the kind of the images exactly what you are been asking for. Along with that one, it has to give the relatable also. That is, these are also means considered as cloud images or like that, means it has to give the exact information there. When you have been having failed to get the exact information, what it has to do is nothing but it has to provide the relatable information too. Okay. And then next step, in this description oriented, what you have been doing here, you need to provide the data. For example, the view, what kind of the view it is. So it tells about that other kind of, that is, it tells about the data, means description orientation represents metadata into consideration. In this metadata representation, what kind of the information they have been asking has to be, means categorized there. This description oriented has been categorized into three types. That is a granularity. Granularity services, which is it is been, means it won't deal with any large or complex operations or the complex like messages there. What it is doing is it is deals with the small images or the small type of the definitions or anything. Means small kind of the request or a very little or very minute kind of the request will be handled by this granularity description orientation or granularity services here. While coming to the network orientation services here, we need to get the data what you have been represented, which is not an absolute one. Means you won't know what you are been asking for, or you don't have any complete information or the complete view about that one. In granularity, it is a short, and then next it's a direct one. Means you have been asking directly, I want this kind of the data. In network orientation, you won't have the data or you won't have any information directly, or you won't, means what you have to do is nothing but you will be giving some related keyword. From that related keyword, it will be providing some kind of the task there. Some further from that one, what it is been doing here is you need to get that one into an account. So here in this type of the representation, what it is doing here is platform neutral is what the platform neutral it is representing. Here we are asking for the small, and then next in the network orientation, we are asking for some kind of the relatable information. Whereas the platform neutral information, what it is been doing here is it is been giving some data which is meeting or which is being provided as a, means your it reaches your constraints. Means to provide the data or to asking or to the give the other kind of the data, what it is been representing is it has to reach some, or it has to satisfy some constraints there. When you are being satisfying the constraints, then what it is doing, it has been providing the data to you. That is the one thing. So to achieve all these kind of these services or other type of the things, we use a protocol which is REST. So what is this REST here is what it is represented is representational state transition type of the thing. What it is been doing here, it is been taking the request from the clients, and the database what you are representing here is it is been giving the data what you have been requesting that. The requesting or the data what you have been specifying here is it includes the lots of operations here. So the what are the kind of the operations you have been using here is you have been using get and the next put patch and the next all these kind of these informations we have been representing. So what are these for? So these are the HTTP protocol operations or the webs what you have been representing. First, we need to construct a database, or first we need to construct one kind of the environment here. So what we need to do here is we need to use database like representation, which is using CRUD like operations here. So CRUD like operations means CRUD means it will create, read, and then next update. If it is not required, it is deleted. First, it will create the database. The created database has to be read by the user now. So what it does here, it will be read by the user. If there is any means updation in the data, it will be updated there. And then next, you won't means have the that information. You won't need that information that is there is a row wise or there is a column wise, that is attribute wise or the some row wise. What it is do is it will delete the data. Like that information we have been representing here. So first, like means the CRUD-like architecture will be followed here. The CRUD-like architecture means what it is doing here is first it is been creating a record using post like the create command. So first we need to you need to access the database means we need to create a record. So to create a record we are using post. After posting the database here, whether the data a new record has been created or not, what you need to do is nothing but we need to get that one. So here whoever been post that one means whoever been has the means new information or new that one will be using this post one. So here the new user all the we have the note we won't have any means only single client or one client like implementation there. What it is doing is multiple clients will be there. So what are the work of this multiple clients here is this new user who has been represented having the some data by using the HTTP post, he will create the one database, the one new record in the database. To process this one, we have been using REST API. So what is this REST API here is? It has been following some architecture like representation and it is having some principles. So what is the principles it has been following here is we need to identify the resources there. So to identify the resources, if you are using this, that is HTTP like representation, we are using URLs, that is uniform resource locator there. So if you are using the uniform resource locator into an account, what happens here is it is been providing the URLs into an account. So here what happens, we are not using the URLs into an account. What we are using here is the URIs, which are uniform resource identifiers. What is this URI means? It is also a type of the URL and which represents like an addressing space only. And what it is doing here is it provides the address space where the resource what you are being requesting is residing there. That's all. And then next, what we need to do there, first we need to get the address space there. For to create that one or to access that one or to update that one, any kind of the service, any client of that one, using the REST API, what we need to do is nothing but we need to interact with the database. While interacting, first to create that one, first we need to identify an address space where we need to store this one here. And what happens here is what makes this one easier to access this one here is it creates or it makes the bookmarks there, like your the things what you have been using in the PDF or any kind of this links what your web pages. If you want to use the web page again and again, what we are doing there, we are making the bookmark of that one. So the by using this bookmark, what you are doing there, you will be directly goes to the where the bookmarks has been representing. That is where we have been storing the bookmarks. We will go to that folder or we will go to that day, and we are clicking on the link directly. Other than going to this main web page, and then next by clicking or by giving some kind of information, and by going to the another search by clicking or by taking some files or the some kind of the links which are the thousands or hundreds of that, and it is easier to bookmark our page. Like this, what it is been doing is URI, what it is doing is it is bookmarking the address spaces. So by bookmarking the address spaces, what it does here is it provides RESTful web services here. So what is a RESTful web services here is it uses the standard one, because to interact with this internet oriented one, we are using the HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol only. And what it is doing is via this HTTP protocol, what you have been representing here, it is catching the spaces, and also it allows you to use database information or the database like operations on that one. So first we will identify where it is residing, and then next what you will do here is you are been taking these operations to be performed on that one, whether you have been posting or you have been getting or other kind of the information. Whether it is the very first processing here, what we need to do is we need to post first new record, and then next you will get that one. For example, whether the data already exists or not, what it has to do is it will be get the data, and then next somebody is making the changes to that one. What he will do is he will making the, so that is post the new record that one. If not, you have been updating the existing information there. What it is been using this update command, and then next step you may specify it as a verb as a put. So if you need to modify, and then next means already existing one modify means it will be patch. You need to replace. Updation means two ones. You need to just, you have been entered. For example, it is a HTTP. You have just entered HTTP. You are adding what you are adding. You are adding the P to that one. Means you are not deleting the data there. What you are doing, just you have been updating that one, and you have been modifying the data. If it is the modification, what it is doing, we need to patch that one. And next kind of that one is you have been entered the entirely wrong data. Wrong data means what it has to, we need to delete all the things, or you need to replace that one. Replace the things what you have been representing there, and then next you need to give the new entire new data into that one. So this second one, what happens here is it is retrieves or processes or any kind of the things into that. When you have been interact this one, we have the one kind of another kind of the service here is that is self-descriptive messages. What is a self-descriptive messages means what we are going to perform or what we are been doing here means here simply see here what it is doing HTTP post, and what it is done, who is been performing here, new user. So this is a one kind of the message, that is anywhere is been new user you have been representing is posting means what it is, it creating that new user is creating a new record into the database. Means rather than giving the large kind of the or many means words like information, what it is been doing is it is providing a comment like or some means very narrative one, which is a very clear and very small one, very small information it is been provided there. And this information what they are been doing is they are been getting know, so what kind of the performance it is. So for example, if you are seeing here, it is means known, we are been writing some kind of the information there. What happens here is, okay, clearly they are getting what is patch, what is post, and then what is the delete here. For example, if I am placing the delete and we are having some kind of this drop down box or some kind of the textual information there, so what happens here is they are guiding you to use this one type of the things how it is been representing here. And what is another kind of the thing here is why we are using the rest here. Rest, that is that is what it is been representational stateless transferring. So what is the stateless interactions here is, so first we have this in a operating system like environment or any kind of environment. When an action starts there, it changes or it runs from one state to the another state here. So what happens here is when you have been place your request, that is for example, I need to update a data field. or a kind of some kind of the task that is you are recovering the systems or recovering like things you are been performing there. What happens here is when the interactions you have been represented, it has to change from one state to the another state, and it has to transfer the data from one kind of to the another kind of one. So what happens here is in the stateless communication environment, what you have been using here, we will provide a request there. And what happens in this request here is it is a reliable one, and throughout the request means from this client to database throughout the reaching the request, what it is been doing is it is been transferring the request there, but we are not representing it as a states. We are not means from this initiation state and then next another kind of the state, another kind like that. We are not been representing. We are been establishing a connection between that one. And what happens here is by establishing a connection or by processing that one, what happens here is we need to take no repetition has to be done here. So what is a no repetition here? No repetition means you are not being use it for another kind of the thing. So in the stateful interaction, we need to know to which state we are been moving, and from the which state we are been getting, and what kind of the information has been processed in the previous state, and what we are been doing in the next state. And also from next coming states also means when you are reaching one point, we can't specify that we have been having only one kind of the state here. So they have been having multiple states. So what we have been doing here, so we need to rewriting means we have been, if the request has been stopped, a request has been not been placed, or if a request has been means yeah, not been passed throughout that one, what happens here is it has to, the request what you have been represented must wait for the response there. And then next the response, what it is been represented here is as a some kind of the states if you are not using REST. If you are using the REST API, what happens here is what the processes it is been doing, and then next what kind of the things it is been processing, and then next any kind of the information it is been using like that. For example, if you are been specifying other kind of information means it is not only single like that one means processing here it is not been done by from your side, what we need to do. So for example, if we take this as an example here, if you are been processing the information, if you are doing the work from your end, and that is at this and made at home means which is being designed at your place, that is your at your organization, what you will do here is you will be have the decision, or you will be having some free to choose all these things here. What these two colors, that is a blue and green, represents here is blue represents what the work done by you, and other things here is the green represents vendor. Vendor is being represented here. So we have the three kind of services here. To make this three kind of services into an account, so what is the infrastructure, platform, and the next software here. What happens here? So here, if we are taking this platform as a service here, means all the things has been done by the vendor, and you are adding something to that one. That's all. And you are not making many changes to that one. You are making some changes to that one. Means the developed application is has to be delivered to you, and you are been adding some changes to that thing. That's all. And it is what are the things here is up to this one, that is a pizza dough, up to this thing, they have been like essential to achieve this thing. Whether you are been performing or not, it will be decided. There's a fire, oven, and electric glass. These are electric or glass, or these things what you have been representing here is these are the resources which are being used by you, and you are designing that thing. For example, it is all the thing made by made at home or made by you at any organization means you will decide what kind of the things you have been using, and everything will be in your hands. And you, how far you have been going, and how far you have been representing all these things, and what are the things to be added, what are the things to be deleted, will be decided by you itself. Means you can make these changes also. Just we mentioned that is the toppings. The toppings will be decided by you, whether you need to add or not. Means the features or what kind of the things, what you have been doing will be added by you or not, means decided by you. And coming to the any kind of the service, what you have been provided by others. If it is an infrastructure, you will be having how to implement, that's all. Means fire or the oven or electric or the gas, means fire you have been using, or how to implement, means what are the things you have been using for the implementation will be decided or the will be processed by them only. Means they are giving all the things to you. What you are doing is you are just taking and keeping them, you have been just garnishing and you have been keeping them there. So like that, what they are being, all these things are given to you, and you have been cooking that thing, and you have been adding some other things to that. Well, it is this platform as a service, what is providing all the things has been cooked, means all the things has been developed there, and it is allowed you to take some 1% or the 2% of the changes there. Means it is delivered and it is been delivered, or it means you need to make some changes, means you can change in infrastructure. But in this one already cooked one, means already developed one, you can't make the changes there. You can suggest or anything there. Okay. And then next, software as a service, completely it is being developed by others. Complete by our developed by others or ordered by others. What you have been doing is you are visiting there and you have been using. If it is useful to you, if it is mandatory to you, what you will do, you will be using that one. If not, what happens there, it will be representing okay, I will be not using or I may not use, like that you've been me specifying there. That is one kind of the example you have been having, what kind of the services we are having and how far you have the other things in doing. So next we have the rest. Rest means the services what you represented there. So here likewise explained in the previous slides, we have the HTTP request, which is a client from client. That is a requester agent. And from this one, we are having who, that is specified as who, the thing is represented as, this is the HTTP server. If you are using the HTTP server into an account here, what happens? So HTTP server means what happens here, it takes the request from the client and it processes and it gives to the client here. So what it does, it is provides the information in the packets like this networks, it is been providing the networks, it is been doing. So here we have the two kinds of the processing here, that is web and then next payload. What is a web means? What kind of the operations we have been performing here. So what kind of the operations means? In the previous slide, we have discussed about CRUD. What is a CRUD? You have been creating. Creating means post, and then next updating or anything means creating, and then you need to read the data. Read means getting the data, and then next what you will do, updating. Updating means you have the two kinds of one, whether it is a replace or patch. Here in this example, we are using the put, and then next we have been using delete like option into an account also. Okay. As I said, we have the multiple payloads here. Multiple payloads means you are using web page or any JPEG or any other kind of the information you are. Well, you are means the client, when you are been requesting for that one, he is representing what kind of information it is been processing. And through this SSL, that is a secure socket layer, and then next processings like that one will be happen. And what it is doing here, it is providing you data. And how it is providing the data here is we are having what kind of the elements it is, how it is been providing the data here is whether you are been requesting for this processing. The data elements representation here is resource, means it's a web page or like that thing, means you are into an account. Other kind of the processing means you have the two representations. One is representation and the other one is the representation metadata. Means you are having document, and then next it is been specified as a JPEG or other one. For example, what is the representation metadata means? You uploaded an information there. You uploaded information means very first you has been given some data. Very first you gave the data. Very first gave the data means what kind of the data you uploaded there. First, that is the type of the media, means image or any kind of that one we need to specify media type. And then next, firstly added one, you will be having this time it has been created there. Next one, there you have been modified that one. So we need to keep the record of that action also. That's why we are having the representation metadata, that is last modified time. And then in means in keenly we will have the whoever been modified that one also. Okay. And what kind of the connectivities we have been using there, that is a client will be their server, and through the cache what they have been using is they have been transferring the data. And to look into the system, or to look into that one what the library it is using, it is a bind. And to interact with each other and to transfer the data with each other, what the kind of environment it is been using, it is a tunnel, which is specified as a secure socket layer, and it uses this HTTP connector indication there. And these are all gateways, and means we are been interacting with the that is the HTTPS and then HTTPS. What kind of the gateways it is been using here, the components has been specified here. Okay. And what are the services it is been providing? For example, this is the one kind of the service which has been specified, taken as an example for the S3. That is a simple storage service provided by the AWS here. First, we need to take the thing that is I'm modifying something. So I raised one request, which is a normal, which if it is done by the HTTP, what you are doing there, you will be writing HTTP request. And it is a response from the HTTP, means what you are giving there HTTP response here. But what we are providing HTTP not REST type. In the place of the HTTP, we are using the REST. So the REST request here is we need to give the data. Means here put means we are updating the data from which one, some so and so bucket name will be given here. So we need to update this one. After updating that one, what kind of the things we have been providing here, whether you need to, what's the type of the connection you have been using. Keep alive means when you are accessing or when you are giving or when you are processing the data, what you are doing to this is keep alive. Don't means stop the processing, or the means don't stop this kind of the process what you have been representing here. Just you have been established a connection. After establishing a connection, what we need to do there, we need to process that one. To process that one, we need to specify one protocol into an account, which is SOAP here. So what is SOAP here means? Service Oriented Architecture Protocol. So first, what we have to do is nothing but what kind of the service it is been requesting for. It has to be registered under this UDDI. So what this kind of the register, the what kind of the things you need to specify here is the data what you have been searching for has to be given or has to be specified there. And what you have to do here is you need to use the two kinds of the services here, publish and update. Publish means you are being registering the data into the UDDI. Update means the published one will be modified there. So first the service requested will be giving the means and request a request type of the thing to the service provider. And then next you are been getting the response here. But internally what happens here is when he has been placed the request, it is also allowed to access or it is allowed to process that one. So from where he is been getting the data, he is getting the data from this one. That is WSDL representations here. What is the WSDL is? Web Services Description Language. What it has been doing here is executable. In the executable format, it has been providing the messages here. That is, it acts as an interface between all these things. So when you are been requesting for the service here, UDDI first will be, means you have been getting, if you see there is a to and fro. When you have been sending the request to the service provided, what happens is it is been provided the query to the UDDI also. And also what it has to do is it is been sending the requested data or the requested one to the service provider. From that one, you have been getting the representation there. For example, you are not having the data means what the service provider will do will be the kind of the data is not there. What you have to do is nothing but you need to stop the process or you need to means update the things. It has to be specified there. So first we will look for this registry, whether the data what they have been requesting for is in the UDDI environment or not. If it is not there, what we need to do? We need to make the publish. Publish that means we need to store that one. After that, you need to give this requester or the requester agent to process this thing. To do all these kind of the things, what it has to do is nothing but we need to follow this kind of the stack here. From the underneath, we are having the protocols, which is SHTP, and then it's SMTP, FTP, or any kind of that one, what you have been using. So along with that one, we are using this stateless transformation. So that's why we have been means we have been concentrating on the service only. So we need to use the service-oriented architecture protocol. And along with that one, we have the multiple things, which is addressing, and then next transaction means web service. Where can I find this, or where can I get this web service, and what kind of the transaction it is been providing, from where I need to get the data, and this, but this web service you have been requested, it provides the multiple data, that is a metadata there, that is a description includes what is the type of the language it is being specified, descripting other description language you have been using, and also other thing here is whether it is a registered or not, and what kind of the policy it is been processing, and what kind of the resources are representing there, and these resources properties there means whether it is image, what kind of the things it is been using, other than the next other type of the things it is been specifying means what we need to do there. And quality of the services means to represent this quality of the service, what you have to do is what kind of the services, and you need to interact with each other. So messages, what kind of the message it is providing. Resource lifetime means if you remember the previous slide, there I mentioned keep alive. Keep alive means whether have been means processing or not, it has to be in the database for entire lifetime, like that. Means when it is means when we are been clicking okay for 1 year or 1 day or one hour, like that one, means what is the resource lifetime has to be given there. And then next we will be getting some information to that one. This is the one example what kind of the request I am placing and what the response we have been getting here. So in this previous slide, we have been initiated one request there. What it is been doing, we have been updating the data. In this one, what it is been getting all the previous means data things what you have been representing, and then next signature, what is the timestamp you have been processing, and from where you have been requesting, all these things has been means stored in that one. Okay. And these are the some examples also, header standards what you are using, like the previous in the previous slide what you are having has been displayed here. So that's about today's class. In next class we will see about enterprise multi-tier architecture. Thank you.